Hello everybody, I have a very interesting video I'd like to share with you. Just to give a little bit of context, I'm going from California back to Arizona. Right now we're entering Palm Springs, California. We're traveling about 65, 70 miles an hour. That ought to give you an idea of how many miles we're viewing. Off to the right, you can barely see it. And by the way, I wouldn't recommend viewing this on a small tablet nor a cell phone. You're not going to get some of the finer details. And speaking of finer details, in order to see them, when you get into YouTube, go to settings. I believe I'm filming this at 2K or 4K resolution. Change it to the highest resolution so you can see some of the finer details, such as broken propellers and whatnot. So off to the right, again, I'm heading from California to Arizona, which means I'm going from west to east. That means towards my right would be south, towards my left would be north. I'm looking south towards my right, and you can see windmills all the way up to the mountain in the background. Now, why am I showing you this? Because at least 70% of them are not working. And this goes on for mile after mile after mile. Now, as we get closer to them, you're going to start to see many of them are not spinning. Quite a few of them have broken propellers. They were put here many years ago in this location because on both sides of the freeway there's mountains, and these mountains, when the wind comes through it, increases the velocity of the wind, making these windmills more effective at generating electricity for the grid, for the California grid. Now again, many of these are not even working. Now, some people have said, well, they purposely turn them off because they don't want to overflow the grid. I don't agree with that statement because California has an electricity problem. They have an electricity shortage. They purposely turn off electricity grids so other grids can remain functioning. They tell you not to charge your electric vehicle because you might overtax the electric grid. California has an electrical shortage. They're not going to turn these off. They're stuck. Many of them are seized up. The bearings, they're just not functioning. Take a look at all of them. Now, as you can tell, many of these are designed to, not many, they're all designed to spin around, face the incoming wind. Many of these you can see are seized up. They're facing opposite of the wind. Now, when you get a wind tunnel, it's going to affect the windmills, obviously. But when there is a windmill not functioning in the middle, right behind a functioning, that means that one's broken. I mean, if there is a windmill working and the one directly to its rear is in the same wind turret and it's not working, it wasn't turned off. It's just not functioning. Now, in the front of us, you can see a dark-colored Jeep. Wait till there it is, the dark-colored Jeep. That mountain right ahead is covered with these. And when you go past that mountain, all the way to the north, all the way to the left, just miles and miles of these windmill farms. Now, why am I showing you this? Because many years ago, farms like this were sold to the taxpayers. They were sold with the promise that it's going to lower your electric bills. The taxpayers of California bought into this bait and never saw a dime of reduced electricity bills. In fact, electricity has gone up year after year, despite of these farms. And this is not the only farm in California. There's many of these farms in existence in California and the United States. And I can guarantee you, none of them are in the backyard of the elite. This is an eyesore when you go through Palm Springs. I have a story I want to tell you that has something to do with this video. Back in 2003, 2004, 2005, there was hundreds of commercials urging people to get the new state-of-the-art light bulb, and that would be the fluorescent light bulb. And if you're not familiar with the fluorescent light bulb, it was the curly kind, the curly-Q kind. It would lower your electric bill, they promised. It would lower everybody's electric bill. Just get it. Well, many people did, to include me. We replaced every incandescent light bulb with these newer technology bulbs, the fluorescent light bulb. And for a few months, our electricity did go down. Now we have an electric company here in Tucson called Trico Electric. Trico, Trico Electric. After a few months, they had a board meeting. They complained that they didn't have enough revenue now that everybody's paying lower electric bills. They didn't have enough revenue. So you know what they did? They increased the electricity back up to what it was before everybody replaced their light bulbs. So basically they were paying the same bills again, and Trico made out like a bandit. They're selling us less electricity at the same prices. And that's what's going on here. You were promised cheaper electricity. If only you would invest in this. And what I see driving through here is a lot of decayed windmills, plural. Many with broken blades. Now, who made out, again, in this situation? It's the electric company. The people who were contracted to put up these windmills. But more importantly, the electric companies get their electricity now almost for free. I say almost, because obviously we see quite a few windmills that are not working. They're getting their electricity for basically free, whether it's windmills or solar panels. They're getting it almost for free, and they're selling it back to the people with no savings at the full price. It's amazing how you can get a product for free, paid for by the taxpayer, only to turn around and sell it to them back at the full price. And not only that, year after year, raise their bills per kilowatt hour. Year after year, tell people they cannot charge their car. There's just not enough electricity in the grid. Now, as we look towards the mountain towards the left side, that would be the north, these windmills go all the way to the back of those mountains as we pass this underpass. It is amazing the amount of revenue that the taxpayers paid only to see this farm just basically in decay, not even upkept. The warranty or whatever is run out. I don't know what the story is, but it is amazing. And there's not, as we drive through, for example, the windmills that have broken blades, there is no maintenance vehicles anywhere to be seen. Anywhere to be seen. Not one. This is basically the genesis. Again, this windmill farm, I realize I've been here many, many years. But this was a broken promise. Very much like the promises they're making now with the Green New Deal. If you do this, there'll be a utopia. We promise you. This is just a get-rich scheme, in my opinion. Whoever owns this company that put these up is probably long retired. These windmills could be possibly out of warranty. Again, you look and you don't see one maintenance vehicle anywhere. In the 1,000 square miles we just covered, all right, I'm exaggerating. We didn't go 1,000 miles, but we're damn looking at least a couple hundred thousand acres, and we don't see on right or left of us any maintenance vehicles, anything going on. Again, many of these have broken blades. These windmills are designed to turn towards into the wind. They're stuck in opposite directions. This is the promise, folks, a broken promise of the Green New Deal that they're trying to push down our throats now. Take care.